I just got done watching a very eloquently expressed video, and it inspired so many thoughts in me and made me revisit thoughts I had already formulated. So I sat down and typed a 4-paragraph response, and I posted it. And I went and took a shower, and while I was in the shower, I thought, I never said thank you to this person for such a beautiful video. And as soon as that thought entered my mind, another thought immediately followed. And that's the title of this video. My thoughts are my thanks. I've noticed something about myself, and I'm sure many of you have noticed the same thing as well about yourselves. But whenever someone takes the time to offer up some deep thoughts about themselves or about how they feel regarding a particular subject matter, my response is to offer something which is hopefully beautiful and special and inspiring in return. That's how I show my thanks. When someone is vulnerable in such a way, when they give me access to their mind in such a way, I feel incredibly honored, and so I choose to respond by giving them my thoughts in return as a gift, like a return gift. And that's how I say thanks. I realize that if I said this to people out there in the general population, it would probably come across as very arrogant. Like I'm saying that my thoughts are worth something in such a way. And even though, yes, that is what I'm saying, it's not really what I'm saying. The way I see it is a vulnerability exchange. Someone gives me something in such a way, I give them something in return. That's where the real value in the exchange lies for me. In real life, I am always quick to say thank you. I'm always quick to use my manners in expressing appreciation to another person. But I've noticed that when I communicate in writing, it can come off a bit cold and ungrateful. And again, that's not at all how I want to come across. It's such a pleasure for me to be able to just write to someone without worrying how I will be perceived. Whether the other person will think I'm cold or aloof or warm or friendly, it doesn't really matter. I think the pleasure is in knowing that my words will be received for the gift that they are. In other words, my words will be received as an exchange of vulnerability. And when I've reached that place with the person, it's a beautiful place to be. If I have to weigh my words in such a way, it ends up slowing me down in how I want to express myself. There's a definite struggle in real time to share my thoughts with someone else, especially if I haven't formulated them in some way already. But when I have that relationship with someone that is built on trust, it's such a relief to not worry about how I'm coming across in the presentation of my ideas. And that's not to say that expressions of gratitude and love and thankfulness are not valuable, because they certainly are. But when I have reached such a level of understanding with another, in some ways I feel as though we have transcended the vocabulary. There's a knowing between us. There's an inherent knowing that we are grateful, deeply grateful for one another and what we have to offer. It's the unspoken. And I realize that in some of my relationships, it must be spoken. But the relationships which mean the most to me in my life are those in which the words are unspoken but felt. So my thoughts are my thanks. When I give my thoughts, my ideas, my words to another, that's how I express my gratitude. That's how I show someone else how appreciative I am that they have taken the risk to be vulnerable in showing who they are. And in return, my desire is to do the same. My desire is to give them a piece of me in return.